Welcome to Bess Mahaney Pilates YouTube channel. Today I'm going to just do a quick foam roller fundamentals sequence here. This is typically what I do after I do a bike ride, and I generally ride about 10 miles each time I ride, 2 or 3 days a week. And I'll start off just with a little extra with the roller, stretching shoulders, etc. So let's get started. I'm going to sit on your roller vertically. Make sure I'm in the camera here. So I get my tailbone all the way to the end of one end and my head on the other end. So you want to make sure your head's on the roller. There we go. So scoot down far enough. And then I make my feet wide, like the width of the mat, and turn out at my hips. Just gives me a little more stability. You can also imprint your spine when you're on the roller so you don't end up in too much extension. That engages the core a little. And then I'm going to just do some snow angels with my arms. So I glide my fingers along the floor all the way till my fingertips touch and back. Now you might find that you can't have your hands on the floor. Your arms may be up high a little, which is totally legal. You can only do what you can do. But this stretch is important because when you're riding, your shoulders are rotated in and forward normally. Unless you have like a totally upright cruiser, even then you kind of get tight in your chest. I'm just going to do a couple more here. And this is good to do even if you're not riding. We all seem to be sheltering in place again, so we all get really stressed and uptight and sit around a lot, so this is good. Alright, after that last one, I just sort of do some unilateral work where one arm reaches back and then I switch. Getting a little different stretch. We want to try and keep those upper trapezius muscles, meaning the very top of the shoulders, from lifting up towards your ears. This one might cause more extension with the back, so try to push that low back into the roller gently, or try to activate your core so your spine flattens a little more on the roller. Good, just a few more of these. And I'm really reaching through my fingertips and through my shoulder blade without letting my shoulder blades glide upwards too much. Alright, then I kind of just, a cactus arms position where I just kind of hold it, imprint my spine. And that's a crazy stretch, so I'm trying to breathe through it. Alright, cool, enough of that. So you gently come off your roller. Alright, and then I'm going to just stick it under my ankles here. Now if you don't have a roller, you can still do some of these things that I'm going to show you, alright? So I can actually do like a spine stretch forward, which is a mat exercise, reaching forward. And my feet are up on the roller, so I'm going to get more of a hamstring stretch, and I'm flexing my ankles as if my feet are against a wall. And I'm going to round up. Reach, reach, reach. And I'm rounding my spine, articulating as you notice. So the belly pulls back. And once more. Good to do this one with your feet against the wall as well, to kind of get you connected, because you want to be connected from your feet to your pelvic floor. Alright, I'm going to just open the hips a little more. Yes, this is more like an exercise, but we'll all survive. So my arches are on the roller, and like I just said, if you don't have a roller, it's okay. And I'm kind of rounding my feet over that roller. I'm going to imprint, lift my hips. So I just want to open my hips a bit. And I'm also making that connection on my posterior chain here, from the calves up to my pelvic floor and even my spine. Pull the belly in, roll it down. We're only going to do 2 more of these, and we're going to get busy with some foam rolling. Lifting up. And lower down one more time. So now I feel everything turning on my back, side, posterior chain of muscles, lower down. Roll that roller out, lift your arms all the way back for another stretch. And roll up, we're going to do just a couple roll-ups. And then we'll foam roll, I promise. Exhale. Check in with your shoulders. Nice big cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one. Okay. Now I'm going to take the roller, slip it under my low back. Make sure I'm in the camera enough. Okay. So again, if this bothers your spine, don't use the roller. You can lie flat on the mat. And I'm just pulling one knee towards my chest and straightening the opposite leg and flexing the ankle on that leg. You may not have this flexibility, so don't worry. And I also like to do some ankle mobility work here. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This is mostly just for the opposite hip flexor psoas muscle. And then I sort of like to extend that leg up, flex the ankle on both feet, both legs. And I kind of just drop out laterally a little, not a lot. I'm supporting my leg with this hand here. I'm going to cross the midline, which is a little uncomfortable. Whew, yes. So I'm starting to shake a little, so that's good. Getting some engagement here. All right. One more squeeze here. Switch sides. Sometimes you might have to adjust the roller a bit. Okay. Again, pulling one knee in, extending the opposite leg, and flexing the ankle on that leg, and I'm going to circle my foot. Yeah, some snap, crackle, and pop. This is the side of the foot that I broke, so my ankle is always cranky and full of lactic acid and various things. Here we go. Flexing both ankles, flexing. Getting a nice hamstring stretch here. And a little lateral stretch. Okay, across the midline. Okay, this is active recovery, my friends. All right. Sometimes while I'm up here, I do a little spine twist. Quickly find that tabletop position and then just twisting to one side. Both shoulder blades stay down. Good. Just do one more on each side. Make sure I got the tabletop. All right. And sometimes I can roll my hips while I'm up here, which is really painful. So I'll skip that for the video. Anyway, if you do, you're just rolling your piriformis right on the roller. So the roller's pretty low now. under my hips. And you can find the place right on your piriformis, which is pretty uncomfortable, but good to do. Alright, enough of that. Okay, so I'm going to take the roller out and I'm going to get it behind my upper back for my all-time favorite stretch. Okay, so I'm going to simply just bring the hands behind my head, lift my hips, roll the roller up to the top of my shoulder blades, and at this point I feel a stretch in my ankles and calves because my feet are pretty close to my bottom. And then I roll it out. Now I don't recommend this if your spine is sensitive, alright? So just keep the roller up around the shoulder blades. But I like to take it a little farther, where I flex my upper back and then I extend my upper back over the roller. And flex. And sometimes I do roll my lower back here where my multifidus muscles are. Multifidi, I think, plural. It's very tender, so you have to be careful. I'll do that one day in a video. Now I'm just going to roll to one side. So one shoulder blade, and it's pretty uncomfortable, so you're getting right down on the lower traps on that shoulder blade and maybe starting to get under the armpit and the lats. Again, areas that get tight when we're riding or sitting around. We're doing a lot of upper body weightlifting, things like that. You want to roll out these areas. Also, if you have problems with your neck, if you roll under your armpit and your lats, it's going to pull the neck, loosen up your neck, because it's all connected here. And then I kind of just stop and find a place to hold that roller right under my armpit and roll it just a tiny bit here, gently. Yeah, it's very tender sometimes under these areas around the shoulder and under the arm. Okay. I'm going to flip around so I'm not facing away from the camera to do my left shoulder blade. Right? So I'm going to find that opposite side. And this one's not as tight. One side's always going to be different. Getting on the lower trap. And the more I turn forward, the more I'm going to get it on my serratus anterior and lats. Gotta keep breathing when you're doing this. Okay. So then I'm going to stop and see if I can find a place of discomfort. And hold it there. So it's really uncomfortable here. Something just popped. And just hold it. You're going to do myofascial release here, which is important. This is all about what we're doing right now. Myofascial release. Okay, so while I'm here, before we do quads and hips, just slip your neck right onto the roller. Gotta be careful when you do this. And I kind of just hold the ends so that my chest is open. And you can even get a little traction going. So I'm going to turn my head side to side. I'm not going to do that many of these. Again, the neck is a very tender, sensitive area. You want to be gentle. My neck actually feels fine. I think I'm learning to ride without lifting my head up too much and overextending my neck, which is good, or I sit up a little more on my bike. It's only taken me a year to figure it out. Okay, I think the neck feels good. All right, so from there, let's get up on the roller, do a little more hip work. So I'll cross the hip I'm going to roll on. That ankle is on top of the opposite knee, and I'm going to just try to find, it's not going to take you long to find that tight hip area, piriformis again. And you can hold it still if you'd like, and just try to relax the hips. I tend to tense up when I'm doing this, so I'm going to relax a little more. You can also have the legs straight out if you want to do that, and then roll up a little higher, or the leg that's the hip that you're working, that leg can be straight. And try to get way up there by the waistline. I get a little more when I do it this way. Keep smiling. All right. Hold it for a second. Okay. So I want to put my back to you, so I'll turn this way to do the opposite side. Okay. A little more forward. All right. So we'll start first trying to just get into that. Oh yes, piriformis area. This side's a little tighter. Yeah, the longer my rides are, the more I realize I'm using my hips and glutes a lot, which is a good thing. Because we tend to be quad dominant, a lot of cyclists, and the hips and glutes are not as strong, and you got to get that area strong too by doing other things. Maybe squatting, deadlifts, yoga, Pilates. Alright, and I'll straighten that bottom leg and see if I can get up a little higher. A little higher means the glute medius, which can be tight. But for me, I feel like this is more effective. Hold it for a second. Then we're going to do quads, and then that'll be it. I'll call it a day. So just pull up this video when you want to do something after a long ride or a run or anything that's, you know, cardio active, tennis, etc. Okay. It's all going to work the same way. Okay, so now I'm going to get onto my quads, which are always challenging to do. They always feel like they're getting a lot of work as well. So I'm just kind of holding myself in a little elbow plank, and I try not to let my shoulders get tense or collapse too much. My quads don't feel as bad today. Yay. And then the same thing, you can just sort of roll slowly, and if you find a place that feels really uncomfortable, hold it there. Usually it's closer to my knees. Lower part of my quadriceps. Slide up. You can turn your hips out, or if I turn my hips in, I feel it more. So either way is correct, or you can stay in neutral. Oh yeah, that did it. Turning in. Okay. All right. Come off of there. All right, quickly, mermaid, because stretch the side body. All right, you're going to sit in your 90-90. I'm going to just hold this. I've done this a lot in a lot of my videos, so everyone's learning this nice stretch by now, which is a Pilates favorite. last one. So while I'm doing this, this is stretching as well. Smiling. Okay, other side. And you can do as many of these things as you like if you want to, do more of these stretches that I'm showing you now. It's all good. Usually a good 30-minute foam rolling routine is appropriate. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up or subscribe so you get these videos right when they're uploaded. You can click on the little bell and you'll get a notification. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Be safe and happy holidays.